Hello everyone, welcome back to Edible Abundance Homestead. I'm Ginger and today is September 6th. Tonight is September 6th. So I'm here in my semi-messy kitchen because I had something happen today that I thought was worth posting about. So today we are kind of getting barely sideswiped by Hurricane Dorian. We're in the mid-Atlantic, so it's not hitting us really hard or anything. It was windy, it was rainy, so pretty much the day was spent inside canning and preserving. So we canned applesauce, froze some eggplant. So we breaded, baked, and then froze eggplant to have it ready for eggplant parmesan. And then tonight I was working on canning salsa. And the tomatoes that I pulled out of the freezer turned out to be about half as much as I needed. So actually over here in my messy sink, I have 2 more bags of tomatoes defrosting in some warm water. They're not going to be ready tonight before I go to bed because it's late and I'm about ready to go to bed. So I'll work on that tomorrow. I've been chopping and freezing and seeding the tomatoes that I harvested a couple days ago as I was pulling out my tomato plants. Maybe that was even yesterday. It's been a long day. But anyway, so this morning we canned applesauce. We got apple seconds from a local place. And something kind of strange happened. So I've been canning for a long time. I am not afraid of pressure canning. I have used the regular ball, replacement lids like this. And maybe at least 5 years ago, I started using these Tattler lids, which are reusable. So I've been using them for a long time. When I first got the Tattler lids, I had problems getting them to seal. They're a little bit more, I think, finicky is the word I'm going to use, about how much you tighten the ring down. You kind of have to get it just right with the Tattlers. Especially depending on what you're canning, if it's something that easily overflows, if you're not careful about getting your air bubbles out, that sort of thing. Now, when it comes to canning, I will say this, I'm a rule follower when it comes to canning. Most things in the kitchen, I'm not a big rule follower. Recipes are really just guidelines, that kind of thing. But when it comes to canning, I follow the directions that came with my canner and that are in the ball books pretty much to the T, because I'm not messing around with botulism. Basically, I have small children that are eating this canned food, and I know the symptoms of botulism because that was something I looked up when I started canning. But in a small child, that would be kind of hard to maybe know what's going on, so I follow the rules. So I've used these Tattler canning lids a lot, and as you can see, this batch of applesauce, this is the second batch I've done. The first one I did yesterday, kind of didn't quite have it right. I don't know if I missed some air bubbles or if I didn't quite have the right headspace that I needed, but these came out of the canner. The lids were, the applesauce had overflowed a bit. The lids were kind of messy. I've got these gaps, but they all sealed. These are all the ones I did today. Because they were so messy though, I was working on getting the crusted on applesauce off of them, and I noticed something kind of funny with this one. So you see that red? The red is the the rubber part that heats up and creates the seal. And you see here how it's bent down inside the jar? This is strange, and this is something that I've never seen before. Now, the seal, it's sealed. It's not, the lid is not coming off. But because that ring is down inside there, I can't even hardly tell how it's sealed. Like, it looks like it shouldn't even be sealed. So this jar I am setting aside to make sure that we use it first, because I have a pretty good suspicion that this jar, the seal is going to fail. Maybe not quickly, but I just don't think this seal is going to last. So anyway, so this this jar is getting set aside, and I'm going to make sure that we use it first. Like I said, the Tattler lids, I had a little trouble at first getting my technique just right, but they've been great, and I've canned just about everything using them. You know, I've pressure canned dry beans, I've water bath canned jams and jellies, I've used them for tomatoes and salsas and all that kind of thing, and it's just not been a problem. But this is something to keep an eye on. So I will also in the future be paying more attention to that, because this is something that I always check my seals pretty carefully, and I always wipe them off, you know, because it's always a little bit messy at the top, even if the canning has gone perfectly. I always, you know, give them a wipe and make sure that the lid is clean, and the around the edges are clean. But this was something different, and I am not sure that I would have noticed it if this hadn't been applesauce, which being so sticky, I really had to scrub to get off, and so I was really looking at the top of the jar. So I just wanted to throw that out there really quick, because it's something I hadn't seen before, and if you're using these lids, I think it's something that you want to watch for. And that's all I have for tonight. I am going to be canning my salsa tomorrow when the rest of the tomatoes are defrosted. And hopefully the weather will be nice enough that I can get out in the garden some more. So thank you so much for watching.